It is 3 a.m. The house is quiet. The bed is warm. By every reasonable standard, this should be a peaceful moment. And then, without warning, Sloth's brain leans over and whispers, "Hey, remember that thing you said in 2009? He does, in fact, remember. He had not thought about it in years. He was doing fine. But now it is here, in high definition, fully remastered, and his brain would like to play it several times. Sloth lies very still, eyes open, reliving a conversation that everyone else involved forgot the same. Afternoon it happened. Here's the strange part. During the day, Sloth's brain can barely remember where he left his mug. But at 3 a.m., it can produce, instantly and without being asked, a complete archive of every awkward thing he has ever done, sorted by cringe. So the big question is, why does the brain do this? And the much more urgent question, at 3 a.m., why now? Sloth's brain has a job it takes very seriously, keeping him alive. To do this, it employs a kind of security guard whose only task is to scan for threats. Day or night, this guard patrols, looking for anything that might be dangerous. Social danger counts. Looking foolish in front of the troop long ago could get a creature excluded, and exclusion could get it eaten. So the brain files every embarrassing moment under important survival data and keeps it forever. The guard is not malicious. The guard is just bad at telling the difference between a real threat and a 5-second-old memory of waving back at someone who was not waving at Sloth. To the guard, both deserve a full alarm. Sloth would like to fire this guard. The guard does not believe in resignation. During the day, the guard is drowned out. There's noise, tasks, people, snacks, 100 small distractions keeping Sloth's attention pointed outward. The guard files his reports, but nobody reads them. At night, all of that goes quiet. No tasks, no noise, nothing to look at. The brain, suddenly with nothing else to do, finally opens the guard's stack of reports, and there are thousands. The tired evening brain is also worse at calming itself down. The sensible part that says, "This does not matter," has clocked out for the night. So Sloth is left alone with an enthusiastic security guard and a filing cabinet labeled, "Everything you've ever done wrong." There's a reason the cabinet is full of bad memories and not good ones. The brain has what scientists call a negativity bias. Bad experiences get burned in deep. Good experiences get a polite nod and a shallow filing. This made sense once. The caveman who remembered exactly where the lion was survived. The caveman who mostly remembered a nice sunset did not pass on his genes or his relaxed attitude. So Sloth inherited a brain that treats one embarrassing comment as more memorable than 100 pleasant evenings. It is not that Sloth's life has been mostly cringe. It's that his brain only bothered to save the cringe in high quality. The memories that come back loudest share a feature. They never got resolved. The argument Sloth didn't finish. The thing he wishes he'd said. The moment he wishes he'd handled differently. The brain hates an open loop. It keeps these scenes on the desktop, refusing to file them away, hoping that if it shows Sloth the clip one more time, he'll finally fix it. He cannot fix it. It happened in 2009. The other person has moved countries. But the brain doesn't care about logistics. It just keeps the tab open, replaying the scene, waiting for an ending that is never coming. Sloth has, in effect, a brain full of shows that were canceled mid-season, and a producer who refuses to accept it. Naturally, Sloth tries to make the memories stop. This is where it gets cruel. The harder Sloth tries not to think about something, the more the brain checks whether he's still not thinking about it. Which means thinking about it. Telling the brain, "Do not replay the 2009 clip," is just a detailed description of the clip. The guard hears the title and presses play. So Sloth lies there, fighting his own thoughts, which is a fight with a strange property. The more effort he puts in, the more he loses. By 3:40 a.m., he is wide awake, furious, and somehow now also remembering a second thing from 2011. Number 1. Stop fighting the thought. Instead of "don't think about it," Sloth lets the memory show up, says, "Yes, that happened," and stops wrestling. A thought you don't fight tends to drift off on its own. A thought you struggle with gets a gym membership. Number 2. Get out of the dark. If Sloth is awake for more than 20 minutes, he gets up, low light, boring activity. Not the phone, which hands the guard a megaphone. A dull task tells the brain the night shift is over. The cabinet closes. Number 3. Give the loop an ending on paper. For the memories that won't file themselves, Sloth writes the unfinished thing down. What he wishes he'd said, what he'd do differently. The brain, weirdly, accepts the written ending as good enough and finally lets the tab close. Number 4. Remember who's watching the replay. The only person still screening Sloth's greatest embarrassments is Sloth. Everyone else lost the footage years ago. The audience for the 3 a.m. Cringe Festival is one sleepy Sloth, and he is allowed to leave. Sloth used to think the 3 a.m. replays meant something was wrong with him. Now he understands. It's just an old security guard doing an outdated job a little too well on a quiet night with nobody around to tell him to relax. The memories aren't proof that Sloth is uniquely embarrassing. They're proof that he's a creature who cares how he treats people. Which is, when you think about it at a more reasonable hour, not the worst thing to be. So the next time the brain leans over at 3 a.m. and offers a remastered cringe from 2009, Sloth doesn't fight it. He just says, "Thank you, security. Noted. We can look at it in the morning." And the guard, for once, has nothing to add. Sloth says thanks. Smash the like button. Toss him a subscribe. He'll think about it again at 3 a.m. vividly.